Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Tipped. Julian here for another important episode before the season begins, talking about the injury report, which players that have injury statuses on Yahoo are actually injured and which are not actually hurt and are going to be ready for game one of the regular season. Before we jump into it, guys, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 8,000 subscribers this year, so if you have been watching and you're not yet subscribed, I really would appreciate it if you hit that button. Thanks so much, guys, and if you do want to take that support to the next level, consider following me either on YouTube or on Patreon for plenty of perks. Let's jump right into it now, guys, and we're going to go alphabetical order. So let's start with Pavel Mintyukov of the Anaheim Ducks. Now, Mr. Minty Fresh, Pavel Mintyukov, has an injury designation because he missed the final 8 games of the regular season with a bone contusion, but he is expected to be ready for training camp, so I wouldn't be too worried there. Then Mason McTavish, also of the Anaheim Ducks, missed the final 6 games, but didn't require any surgery, and he's going to be good to go for the start of camp as well. Then we have Brad Marchand, who has a day-to-day designation on Yahoo, and he did undergo 3 off-season surgeries. He's been going through a lot of those lately. Gotta feel bad for him, but he's supposed to be good to go for the start of the year. Then we have Taylor Hall, who missed the entire season last year, is expected to be cleared for preseason, so that's really good news for Chicago, and he could play on the top line once again with Connor Bedard as well as the top power play, so he could actually have a pretty solid opportunity to succeed here. Then Artem Levshunov, the rookie, suffered a foot injury after blocking a shot in rookie camp. Now, he was seen in a walking boot, but luckily that's not supposed to last too long. There's not too much worry about the severity of the injury, so there is a possibility that he'll play game 1 of the regular season. It might be more likely, though, he'll play a little bit after that. But no matter what, he's not missing too much time. All right, then we got Valeri Nichushkin, who is out until November at the least because he was suspended 6 months minimum because he was not following the treatment plan as part of the player assistance program. That allows him to return at some point in November at the earliest, if he's ready, if the team and the player assistance program deems him ready to play. It's definitely a risky pick because there's a chance he doesn't play at all or takes a lot longer to recover than that, but Nichushkin definitely has a lot of upside this year. Gabriel Landeskog is the next guy we're going to talk about, and he is poised to return sometime near the start of the season, which is awesome because he hasn't played since the 2021-22 season when the Avs won the Stanley Cup, which seems like forever ago at this point. So his potential return is really, really exciting, and I'm not sure if he's going to be ready for game 1. It doesn't seem like he may be ready for game 1, but it seems like he's going to be ready at some point in October, which would be absolutely amazing. Then we have Arturi Lehkonen, another Colorado Avalanche that's injured, and he had off-season shoulder surgery. He will not be a full participant in training camp and likely won't start the season in the lineup, according to Nathan MacKinnon. There is no firm timeline for a return, but it doesn't sound like he's going to miss too much time, so I wouldn't worry too much about this injury. Then we have Dylan Larkin of the Detroit Red Wings, and he had surgery in the offseason as well, but he is going to be 100% for training camp, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Evander Kane is another guy who you can look at, and he's likely to go on an LTIR stint if surgery is required for his injury. There is no timetable yet because they haven't yet decided if surgery is required, so we're going to have to wait and see. But it seems like he's going to miss an extended period of time, so I definitely wouldn't draft him too early in your drafts. Then Darnell Nurse is dealing with a lingering, undisclosed injury from last season. He's expected to miss the beginning of training camp, but he should be good to go for game 1, so I wouldn't be worried about that either. Then we have Kirby Dach of the Montreal Canadiens, and he missed a full season with a torn ACL and MCL, which was really rough. He only played the first 2 games of the season for Montreal and barely played any of the second game. It was hard to see considering that he was poised for a breakout year, but he is likely to be returning this year for the very first game. He's skating ahead of training camps, and it looks like he's going to be ready and hopefully can stay healthy this whole year. Then Timo Meier, the New Jersey Devils, had off-season shoulder surgery, and he is expected back at camp and should be ready for Game 1. Jack Hughes is also good to go after off-season shoulder surgery, so he should be good to go as well for Game 1. His brother, not so much. On September 12th, he suffered a shoulder injury and had surgery, which has a timeline for 6 to 8 weeks to recover. That means he's going to miss the first 9 games of the season at the very least, and could be back as early as October 24th with that timeline, or as late as November 7th, which would have him missing the first 15 games of the season, which is definitely not ideal. Then Ilya Sorokin had back surgery in the offseason, so he's not expected to play in a lot of preseason action, but is expected to be ready for the very first regular season game, which is great news. And then Josh Norris, who had his 3rd left shoulder surgery, which is really not great for him, but he is trending to be ready for training camp. So definitely someone who is going super late in drafts and could be an absolute steal if he can actually stay healthy this year. Now, over the offseason, Jamie Drysdale had sports hernia surgery, but he should be cleared in time for training camp, so he should be good to go. For Chris Letang, he had surgery on his left finger and also should be good to go for the start of training camp. Now, Torrey Krug is out for the season with ankle surgery, so he's not going to play at all this year, which means that Justin Falk could have an elevated role in the offense this year, potentially getting top power play time. Now, Falk has an injury designation, but he is going to be good to go after missing the end of the season last year. He should be playing Game 1. Jake Neighbors also missed the end of the season last year, but he'll be good to go for training camp as well. Now, Vince Dunn had a season-ending neck injury, but it seems like he's going to be ready for training camp as well, so he should be good to go. Honestly, guys, most of the players in this video are going to be ready for Game 1, which is awesome to see. And then Oliver Bjorkstrand actually sustained an injury while playing for Denmark in the Olympic qualifiers, but it doesn't seem to be too serious, and he should also be ready for Game 1, but just monitor that a little bit more closely in training camp. For Toronto, Joseph Woll is listed as day-to-day, but he's going to be good to go, so don't worry about that. Then for Vancouver, both Thatcher Demko and Artur Silovs, their number 1 and 2 goalies, are listed as injury concerns on Yahoo. Now, Demko is not going to be ready for training camp or the preseason. The hope is he's going to be good to go for Game 1, but it's not a sure thing, and honestly, with Vancouver scouring for goalies like they are right now, it seems like he's going to miss the beginning of the season. I'm not sure exactly how much time he's going to miss, but I don't think it's going to be all too much. Now, Silovs had knee inflammation during the Olympic qualification with Latvia. The good news is he is skating with his teammates, so he might be good to go for training camp and probably for Game 1. Vancouver might just be looking for a backup goalie for Silovs for the first little stretch of the season. Hopefully Demko's not gone too long, though. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope this information helped you. And if it did, drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And do consider hitting that join button if you do want to take that support to the next level. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Fantasy Tipped.